Welcome back to 3-Day Weekend. I have a project today I'm very excited about. It's over there in the garage. We're doing a full enclosure and heat on the Pro XP. And you'll notice I'm wearing short sleeves outside. It is late January and it's 65 degrees outside, but what's the irony? The heating kit comes in on the warmest day of winter. There's snow over there. See? There's definitely snow. I've been cleaning the garage all day, ready for this machine. Let's bring it in and get to work. The boxes so far, there is one more still coming. I think it's coming tomorrow or Monday. We'll find out. But there's plenty here to get started on. The first one is the heater. Went OEM Polaris heater on that one. Because of some future upgrades I'm planning on doing. It's the only one that is compatible with all those upgrades. I know about Inferno and all those. Can't do it. Got to do this one. So that's what we're going to work on today, is getting that OEM heater installed. I also don't know which box is which, but there's a rear enclosure, the side doors, a front windshield, and inner door close-offs that are either here or coming. I don't know. Let's get the machine in and get this party started. It's killing me to do this because I hear machines in the woods riding today. I know they're up there. But not me, not today. Instructions and diagram. Oh man, there might be some drilling involved with this one. Got wiring, a new panel. Those are probably the duct covers. I think that's the thermostat control for the dashboard. More duct covers, some sort of T. Zip ties, push pins, screws, and hose clamps. I feel like this install might take a minute. Hoses. Some sort of module. More hoses. A duct. And another duct. Alright. Oh, man, it's killing me to be in here working. Hearing those machines up there. But mine is nice and clean. I want to do it install while it's clean. Such beautiful weather today. Oh, that's big. That's a fan. Oh, and there's a little heater core module. Oh, it's a little butterfly valve. Open and close the vent. Neat. Alright. Well, I don't know if all the parts are here. We'll find out later. So I'm going to put this aside and study the installation manual before I do anything else. I've been reading these instructions. Man, we have some work to do. This is going to take some time. But, might as well get started. First thing we're going to remove is a windshield. Got to get that out of the way. Then we're going to remove the center hood piece. That's held in by 2 Torx 40 bits. Next up is the center glove box. We're going to pull that out, pull the inner out. And then we're going to pull all the trim pieces off the dashboard. Now we need to remove the 4 Torx 25 screws holding the glove box in place. Then we can remove the 3 Torx 40 screws holding on the front edge of the dashboard. Take note that the center 2 are longer than the outer 1. On the driver's side, we can remove these 4 Torx 40s holding on the dashboard on this side. I had to get this one with a long extension. And take note that this one is shorter, than the rest again. That leaves us with the last 2 dash screws, one there and one there. Then we have 2 push pins holding the side hoods on. Pull those out. going to remove the entire dashboard cover next, but we have to lift up the pieces of the hood because there's a little catch right here, and we want to get that out. Same on the driver's side. Missed a screw. Take that one out and tilt the steering wheel all the way down. We've come a long way since I last checked in, and I found out that's because my camera has started to act up due to the wrong setting. So we've missed everything that I've done up to this point. I think I last talked about the dashboard removal, and that's where it left off. So I'm going to go back and fill you in on what has happened. The seats, obviously they come out. Next up is the center console. You remove the tray. That just lifts right out. Then there is a cigarette plug there. You can reach down and around and disconnect the wires that go to it, which are hanging right there. There you go. They just disconnect from the back. Then there are 4 screws there, and 2 on the other side. Boom, boom. And the whole thing lifts out of the way. Next up is the 2-piece firewall, which I have sitting right over here. Piston locks. You have to take the top section out first. There are 4 of them. 2 on that side, 2 on that side. That comes out of the way. And bottom one, 1 pin there, 1 pin there. And that pulls out of the way. Easy. Then we have the side panels. 8 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, focus. Those all come out. Then up top on this edge, there are 2 push pins, 1 there and 1 there. You could probably see it better from the top. Yeah, 1 here and 1 here. Pull those out, and then the panel is free. Be mindful of your little blue light right here. Just kind of pull that wire out without breaking it. The light, it just pulls right out of there. Then you have to remove this, free the center up. There's a hidden screw right there. Get rid of that. I took the shifter handle off. You don't have to. Just to give me a little more space. But you pry on that, and eventually this whole panel comes off. Whew. Now the driver's side has the exact same screws, the 8 screws, and it has the 2 push pins. But in order to get to 1, you have to take the bolt out for your fuse box, loosen one, take this one out, and then you can push it up and you'll be able to get to the second pin down in there, and then you can pull that whole thing out, again being mindful of the light. Once that panel's out, disassembly is complete. Really wasn't that bad to get everything out of the way. We're ready to start putting pieces together. The first one is your dash piece. You gotta put the defogger, demister they call it, in there. Excuse my mess. You just put the template right on it, and it tells you to cut or drill 1/4-inch holes there, 1/4-inch holes there, then other holes. And I used my, what's the name of that tool? Like a multi-max sort of vibrating thing. I'll show you here in a minute to cut those holes. The same applies for this one. You put your template on there like that. It tells you to drill your 1/4-inch holes and then drill those out. You cut that away and you end up with a hole like that. Then I had to put this little collar piece in and bolt that down and then feed the pipe, oh my gosh, up through this hole. See that? The whole pipe goes up through there and it goes back in there. Man, you can't even really see it, but it's in there. See a little pipe going up? You see that in there? Right in there. Little pipe. Yep, that's up in there. And it clips on when you get it up there. It took 3 of us to get that pipe fed through there. I couldn't get enough slack and push it the right direction and line it up all at the same time. So 3 of us managed to get that pipe lined up. Seems like when I started this project, it was 65 degrees and a beautiful day outside. Boy, the weather sure does change fast around here. Gone to snow today. Anyway, we're over here. We're ready to start doing the floor stuff. So I've rubbed this down with medical grade isopropyl alcohol. Yep, nice and clean. We're gonna lay our template in there and start going. I had to stop over at Harbor Freight because I didn't have a 3-inch hole saw. Another template and another hole. Forgot to put the actual vent in there. And a little collar so it can't possibly come out of there. There we go. That looks nice, right? And we are going to lose our storage bin on this side. Nothing we can do about that because the actual core of the unit sits right about here. Ugh. So we have some pretty heavy modifications we need to do to this panel. The first is removing this net. Then we have to cut all the way around this line. This tool proved to be pretty effective for cutting the other holes, so I'm going to give it a try on this one. We got her! Not sure where we're headed on these trim lines. We gotta put this panel in and then mark all 4 of these lines and then cut them out like that, leaving 1/8 of an inch. Must be there's a pretty tight clearance issue when you get that installed. Got my notches cut out, lined it up, marked the holes, drilled 6 5/16 hole, and that will line up like so. Beautiful, perfect, good, great, grand. 1 hole left to drill. Almost forgot about this one. And this panel is done. Oh, they got me on one more. Heat duct. Okay. That's what it'll look like. On to the next. We got 4 different size drill bits we need for this one. Let me see. 11/32, 1/2 inch, 13/16, and 1/8. Oh, sorry about that. There you go. We have reached the part of the day where I turn my dashboard into Swiss cheese. I got my drill. Got some more drill bits. There they are. All ready. Because that is a lot of holes. I already did the 13/16. Had to go get a new bit for that. Didn't have that size. But we got her drilled. I'm on to the rest of them. We're ready to install the control unit thing. The right side up. That was a close one. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Like this. Okay, there we go. We have climate control. We have 2 bolts. We need to remove the nuts from the bottom on the shifter. Right. That zooms very slow from here. There you go. There's one there and one right behind it. Beside it, I should say. We're going to remove those nuts. We are ready for the main unit. There it is. Made out of solid plastic. Nice metal bracket, that's nice. And that's gonna fit into the duct we stuck in the firewall. Looks like it's gonna suck air right from the floor. That could be a problem if you go in anything even a little bit deep. Got a little brain there. All right, let's throw it in. It says we're gonna slide it in from the passenger side. Let's just see how much sliding there's gonna be. Sit right there, I suppose. Goes on those two studs holding the shifter down. Looks like there's another duct gonna go in there. Oh, that little flapper deal. I saw the flapper deal. I wonder if that's what's next. Flapper deal. I call it that because there's a flapper deal in here. This is to block the airflow to the defrost, so you can shut that off if you so desire. Probably be a really good idea if you're going through a puddle or something, so you aren't blowing hot, humid air up on your window. But then again, it's probably going to come up through the machine. We'll try it out. We'll see what happens. Ooh, we got it. Holy mackerel. That was a snug fit. It's not even over yet. Oh, this side fits better. Whew, man. That was snug. Flapper-doo. That's hooked into the main duct going up. That was a snug fit. And then I attached this guy into that. Now this whole module is installed. We have to put in these bolts with these nuts we pulled out earlier. Ugh. Then you have to hold them from the bottom. That's not fun. Got it. And see, I got the pneumatic on there. Oh, there it is. And I was, oh, dark. And I was able to go underneath with my socket like that. And that'll reach underneath and hold the nut in place when I get it started. Same with that one. There, see I'm on it right there. And then move the pneumatic over to there. So you can get both of them from right there. Not easy, but I've done worse things. Next up is plumbing. I believe this is the last bit of drilling we have to do. Right there, 4 little 1/4-inch holes, which is in a pretty tight little spot. Fortunately, this is a little bendy, so it should be good to go. Now we get to attach this thing, the water valve thing, to the firewall, where we just drilled those holes with these little bolts. We're ready to run some lines. I've already run, this is the, what is this? The outlet hose, yes. I've already run the outlet hose. Got her in there. I'll show you on the other side how that works. It runs down and under, and then it comes up, and it's just dangling. And it's gonna go between those two vice grips right there. I've put a little coupler in there. I didn't drain the coolant. I was thinking maybe I could do this whole project without draining the coolant. We'll see. So I cut off the flow right there, but I think when I get into this next part, it's gonna get messy on me. But we'll find out. Yeah, so now I need to run the other hose, which involves taking out, there's a little cap in here, which is spring-loaded. I didn't realize that. So let me show you that real quick. Take out this little metal retainer, like that. And then ignore that noise. Oh my gosh, alarms. Use caution. It's gonna blow. Well, you have to trust me, there's a little fitting in there. The last one blew off of there. Oh, that was anticlimactic. Little washer. And this little rubber stopper. So you take all these out of there, throw them away, And you replace it with that, the little plastic retainer that they give you. Run that down, and it goes through, and they both come up and out the back. Keeping track of which one is inlet, which one is outlet, so we can tie them in. I've been dreading this part. Okay. Ah, dang it! I forgot the clamps. They're almost there. Like that. Almost here. Like that. I think that's good. Not too much of a bend right here. Alright, that's that. Should be able to take that off. Get out of the way. I'm going to leave this one on until I'm done with the other side. I really didn't lose that too much coolant on that one. Next up, we're going to remove this panel. It's held in by 3 10mm bolts. This one down here, which comes in from the other direction. I already got that one out. And this one. And this one. Quick note, I swapped that clamp out. They're 2 different sizes. There's 2 little guys, which we're going to use next, and then the big guys, which that one takes. So I swapped it out real quick. This next part's going to get messy. We have to take this hose and attach it here, removing that hose, and then the other one drops down underneath and goes to the, looks like the water pump housing. So, remember earlier I said I wish I knew which way this goes? Well, it goes up and around like that. So I'm going to take this clamp off. I'm hoping to pull it and stick this one on pretty quick and minimize the loss of fluid. In any case, when I'm done doing this and put it back together, I'm going to have to rinse this out real good so it doesn't smell like coolant for a long time. We just got to pop off this hose and pop on this hose. With the clamp, I really don't want to forget the clamp this time. Alright, I feel like this one's going to leak because I see coolant coming out already. Yep, she's a gusher. Okay, we got it. I hear the whole system gurgling after that show. There we go. And that one is done. Now this hose goes bye-bye. Now we gotta put this shield back. Somehow, like so. And per the manual, we're gonna use zip ties to hold that from rubbing on the side of the heat shield. I put an extra one right there because the firewall is going to go right here. I didn't want this to, you know, hit it, make noise. But it's not touching the shield there. Shouldn't touch that. Looks pretty good to me. Wiring harness time. Yeah. Alright, next. Let's look at this thing. First, there's a really long wire. That's going to go to the water valve all the way in the back on the firewall that we were just working on. Then we've got these, which I imagine are going to go to the controller. Looks like we got a spot for a weird looking relay. I don't even know yet. A bunch of other weird looking plugs. Oh, this plugs into the, I don't know. I recognize that one. That's a pulse bar plug. It's all plugged in. accessories, man. You add one, then you add another, and then another, and another. And before you know it, you've got a rat's nest in there. And that's what I have. Maybe next winter I'll redo the electric in here. Or when I get the next project, which is coming very soon. I don't know. We'll see if it necessitates it. But, got the water valve wire. That goes up. Goes up. They've got spots for zip ties right there and there. That's going to tucked up in there. And it comes through the dash and comes up. Then another wire drops back down. And you hit all three of these right here. Yep. Then this one goes up through the dash and splices in up here. Then you got your pulse bar plug. That one's easy. And then a harness goes through the hole in the dash, or in the, I guess the sub dash over in here. And that runs up and plugs into your control panel backside there. 4 plugs for that mess. And then you just pop your fuse and your relay onto there. What a mess of wires I have. Man, I wish that was better. I'm gonna just have to go through and fix it someday. But it should work for today. I finished with the rat's nest. Now I'd like to test it out. See what we have here. This should turn on. It does. Oh, that's moving quite a bit of air. I can feel it down in here. Is there nothing coming out of... Oh, the defrost. There's a button. There we go. I hear some gurgling back there, so it's doing something. Oh, yeah. Now we've got some defrost coming out of there. Cool. I don't know what the knob does. I have no idea what that's going to do. I imagine we'll just leave it on hot. But it works. Uh-oh, 10 volts. I better hook my tender up. It's been sitting for a little bit. Alright, now that we've tested it, I guess we can put the machine back together. I got it running. I filled the coolant reservoir right up to the brim. Started it up and air started coming out, so it's down a little bit already. I've got the cap off right now and I'm watching it. Make sure it doesn't overflow. And I'm waiting for it to get up to thermostat open temperature. We're getting there, 126. I'm going to start feeling these hoses. See if we've got stuff going through. Oh, I think it's gurgling. I'm going to close this up. Yep, she's gurgling. There we go. Let's feel some of these hoses in here. Nothing. Nothing yet. We don't need this one. I've got the heat on full blast with defrost turned all the way up to hot so that it should open up the water valve or whatever. This hose is warm. That one's cold. That one's cold, so it's not circulating anything yet. We'll give this a few minutes. Now, if you heard that gurgle, the coolant reservoir is down about halfway. So I'm going to put some fans on the engine, go hit lunch, come back, and do it again. It's warm. It's just not 100%, but we're getting there. I let it cool down, the fans and everything, down to about room temperature. It was I think it said 76 or something degrees. Yeah, it's close enough. Topped up the coolant, and now I'm running it through another heat cycle. But I feel warmth in the pipes already, so I think I'm working out that air. I'm just going to keep doing this, but I'm confident that the system is working and everything is not leaking. So I'm going to start putting the body back together. So let's put it back together. This panel is in place. I got our one new push rivet right there installed. And don't forget, the little light goes up in there too before you push it all the way in. I wish I could show you how I'm putting this in. I had to push the gas pedal down to get the front to go over. But there's really not a lot of room to show you over my shoulder or whatever. You want to see what's going on. But I got that side lined up. Now I'm going to try to get the other side lined up. And I think that's the hardest part of putting it back together. This center console is a pain in the neck, but I got it. This push pin was not even close to lined up. I had to push up here to move the whole unit over to get that little base piece lined up. But I got it. Then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Torx 40s. 2 push pins up on that ledge. I haven't put this one back in yet, and that holds it together. This is my carrier bearing grease whip there, and it's the same on the other side, except for the other side has that bonus fuse panel thing that you have to do up in there. See, there's one little push pin. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it right there. Second one goes down there. Got my blue lights in. So now I'm just going to swing this fuse panel back down and hold it back in with the two 10mm bolts. They're right there. Ha! What a pain in the neck. Here's hoping I never have to tear the center console out again. Jeez. And then I'm going to put the armrest back together. That is an easy part. Center console, check. Inside of center console, check. These two little tabs go in there. Don't forget to hook your cigarette plug back up. Oh, there we go. Set the cup holders in. When you're looking for a long Torx screw, where does it go? It goes right there. I almost forgot. Had to go back and look at my notes. And I got that little kick panel installed. I had to push pretty hard to get that vent to seat into the air duct, but it kind of clicked into place, and then I was able to go around and put all the push pins in. Whew! Now we're onto the dashboard. Putting the screws back in. We got push rivet there, long one, screws, Torx 40. And inside we've got the short Torx 40, a long Torx 40, another long Torx 40, another one, and over there on the very end, the very focus is the short one. Got all those in, so the dashboard has been installed. Now we gotta put the inner glove boxes in. This one is easy, just drops in. If you have a ride command, make sure your USB port's in there. This one is held in by 4 little, what are these, 25? Torx 25 little screws, cute little things. Everything's back in. Shifter knob back on if you took that off. I did for mine. So I just gotta put this trim in here. Gonna need 2 hands to do it though. And there we go. You just push this straight down. Just gotta have 2 hands to do it. I've been using Cerakote, but I forgot to Cerakote that piece. Can you see the difference? I've been pounding on stuff with my hands, but this and this were the same color. See, that's all shiny now. This is not. I'm gonna Cerakote that up too. Anything else I see? Of course, I've been touching everything, getting them dirty. Gross. Yeah, the seats are in. Let me see if I can find the hood. I found it. I found the hood. Probably took me 8 minutes, but I found it in the back under pieces of wood. I don't know how I got back in there, but that's back on. So we are done. I'm going to take it on a couple of light test drives just to warm the engine up, bring it back down, check the coolant level, make sure we don't have any air in the system there, but we should be good. Of all the mods I've done to this machine, that one may have been the most difficult. We did the ride command, but I don't think the ride command was as difficult as this. So you gotta be pretty good with the stuff to do that install. It was hooking up stuff and connecting it to plastic, and the center console just doesn't want to come out. Cutting the coolant lines was easier than I thought, but overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. I guess. By yourself. So that's going to do it for me today. The next part is I need to enclose the cab because the heat, although it would help blowing heat on you, keeping you warm, it's just going to go right out. So I have a series of videos coming where we're going to work on enclosing this cab with different things. So stick around for that. I put a playlist of everything I do to this machine, the Aces, the Lightning 2.0, any machine we have, I have playlists for each one. So if you like to see those videos, how-tos, and what we're doing with them, go check those out. And I really appreciate every viewer and every subscriber, especially you members. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate the support. You keep the wheels turning around here. But that's going to do it for me today. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you here for another video on 3-Day Weekend.